All right, welcome everyone. We are Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for Monster, episode 68. All right.
Oh boy, did a lot of stuff happen last episode. And Lunge's back.
Lunge is back.
He is back.
Lunge is back.
Feels good.
And Johan has seen the final scene.
Yeah.
He knows where this is all going to end. Lunge seems to as well. He's at Ruhenheim.
Right. Yes.
Which makes us believe that he's actually a step ahead of everyone.
Which would be par for the course for him. I mean,
absolutely.
Let's be real.
In terms of the genius that he is, I am still a little bit worried about him being called in basically into the story so late.
Yeah. If he's gonna die.
But
yeah.
I could see him basically being that final person to believe Tenma, you know, and to not just, because we know he believes Tenma for the most part, but it's actually meeting Tenma again and kind of calling back all the way to the beginning, and being like, I believe you.
Right.
I know what happened now.
Okay,
Lots of crazy things can happen. Anna's been saved. And
she told Johan the truth.
Yeah.
So
yeah. So he's wrestling with that. At the very least. So yeah, y'all, Monster. Without further ado, let's get into it. Lunge. And you see on the back of the postcard it said Franz Bonaparta. Yeah.
Ruhenheim.
I've missed Lunge's super deep voice.
Yep.
Because he breaks the rule of the super deep voice guy that's bad. It's more like super
Although
deep
he was
voice.
an antagonist for a while.
He was an antagonist for a while, but it's more like super deep voice means super intelligent, you know?
Right. It means super serious.
Super serious.
And maybe dangerous also.
Yes. Yes, Lunge is definitely not safe. That is true. He is single-minded and unwavering. Oh, angry doggo. Lunge? Johan?
Yeah. Which one?
Yeah. Ruhenheim.
やっぱりゴミ置き場に捨ててあった粗大ゴミはダメだね。
私には粗大ゴミ
Yeah,
に
it looks
は
great.
見えんがね。立派な5段変速のスーパーサイクルだ。
Aw, what a nice older guy.
ご予約の。はい。ルンゲと申します。ルンゲさん、ようこそいらっしゃいました。今泊まられているお客様、あちらのご夫婦だけです。ご主人が足を悪くされていて、ご旅行もなかなか大変なようです。
Aww. The way he kind of looked at them like,
right.
Is that him, you know?
私もゴミには見えないね。
The bike.
なかなか立派な自転車だと思うよ。
Nice.
Awesome.
ここでは応援の増員はどれくらい望めるのかと
Whoa.
応援
How many people can you field if needed?
If needed, yeah.
警察に要請すれば小1時間ほどでそれなりの補充はできますよ。
今からこの町に入ってくる者全員チェックした方がいい。
Wow.
加速だ、ギアチェンジ。
Oh, it's every time it changes gear, yeah. Oh, that sucks.
大丈夫かい？
Oh, Grimmer!
No way.
Grimmer!
No way.
Yeah.
Hold on a second.
お一人でお寂しいんじゃありません。
What if Johan was staying with this couple?
Or more specifically, Franz Bonaparta was the
い
husband.
ますよ。娘に孫もできました。
今もほれ、孫に絵はがきを描いてい
Oh,
たと思うんだ。
oh.
どうです？あなたも書いてみたら。孫に手紙。
This music. You recognize it, right, y'all?
すみません。今晩こちらに泊まれますか。のんびりピクニックしていたのはいいんですが、途中で迷って。やっとの思いで町へたどり着いたら。
What is Grimmer doing here, though? Like,
いやー、ほんと助かりま
He's
した。
seeking some closure too. He figured it out.
Yes,
He's figured it
yeah.
out. Or it's a coincidence he thought, like, I can hide here. Like, no one comes here. Oh. Storm's coming.
oh yeah, that
Yeah,
was
it
a
did
gunshot.
sound like a gunshot, yeah. That was Johan firing at the one guy, remember?
この町で銃持ってる人間なんてい
Could
や
be,
しないわよ。もしいるとすれば裏の飲んだくれくらいだろう。
Is this drunk gonna end up being a character?
さっき銃声みたいな音がしたでしょ。もしかしたらうちのルートビッヒが。
私が探してきましょうか。街をブラブラしますので、ついでに。
Lung's like, well, aren't you?
ヒルマン夫人のとこの犬なら知ってるよ。
見かけませんでしたか？
いや、見てないね。
最近この街で見慣れている犬がいませんでしたか？
It's a good cover for him.
You.
あんた
Yeah, you.
なんだ、お泊まりになるのかと思いましたよ。
すいません。私はフェアシュテックホテルの方に。
It's like, ah, competitor.
みんな向こうに客取られちまってんのか。だからあんなによく吠える犬が近くにいたらすぐにわかりますよ。
The way Grimmer just subtly like collects information.
いや、聞いてないね。
I love how they're even now just building a small town for us to basically get invested in.
犬を探してるんですよ。
Oh.
Maybe we should look together.
何か足取りはつかめましたか？
いや。
じゃあ引き続き捜索続行と行きましょう。
By the way,
I think Lung is just basically, you know, taking. Oh. Oh, that's the kid's dad. That's why they call him trash. Wow.
一本くらい買えるかな。
ビン、今日はまたひどくやられた。
Oh, and this guy knows that he's got this whole thing. It's like
私のホテルへ。
taking care of him. Wow.
こりゃうまいや。
Just the happiness he has over having a you know, a brat, basically. Yeah, just...
誰か私を外へ連れ出してくれる素敵な人来ないかな。
ところで犬の話なんだけどね。
あの犬なら私散歩に連れてったこともあるわよ。
everybody knows everybody.
ヒルマンさんが風邪で寝込んだ時、私が代わりに連れてったのよ。
どこまで行ったの？
There's the cop.
ルンゲ警部、あなたの言う通り大変なことが起きましたね。
The dog.
犬ですよ。犬の行方不明。
Has Johan already just like, or maybe Franz Bonaparta, just like worked his magic or something?
No. Wow, I haven't seen Grimmer get scared in a long while.
Yeah.
大変なことに。
Right? Oh.
出たビッヒ。人騒がせだなお前。その骨をここに埋めたのを覚えてたのか。
Well done.
Wow.
Lung followed him. Yep.
この町で何をしている？
あなたこそ何をやってるんですか？
I asked
あな
first.
た刑事でしょ？
休暇中だがね。
でも休暇中には見えないな。
Right?
その目。
ちょっと前までプラハにいてね。そこである事件に関係した人間の情報を聞いた。大きなバッグを持った長身の男。人当たりのいい柔和な笑顔。髪の色。
Perfect memory. Just keen mind at work. Here we go.
全く符合するんだがね。ノイマイヤーさん。いや、グリマーさん。
Nice.
この町に何をしに来たんです？
He just repeats his question.
Yep.
どうやら私たちは本当に違った手がかりから同じ場所にたどり着いたようです。食い止められ
I love the double entendre. Yep, yep.
この町で起きるとんでもない殺戮を。
All right, well, they team up. Oh my god, yes.
おい、また
Amazing Steiner and the incredible Lung.
兵士がこれから汗水流して仕事に出ようってのに。あんた、うるせえな、なんだよ。
宝口。
Seriously? No.
西の丘の吸血鬼の家に
The vampire's mansion. Oh,
取り戻したかったら一人で行くんだな。
crap.
どうなっても知らないけどな。
あんた。誰も訪ねてこなかったか。ちゃんとチェーンかけとけ。2000万マルクか。
Wow.
欲しいわあんた。
Whoa.
あんた、これ。
念のためだよ。お前が買った宝くじの番号知ってるやつなんかいないだろう。
いつものね。はいよ。
There was a blonde young man there.
たりませんね。
saying
ピニキさん、ご主人がこぼしてましたよ、奥さんの宝くじ熱。なんなら私の生年月日使ってもいいですよ。1945年3月2日。これが結構当たるんだな。
まさかそのコンラートの生年月日を。
今頃町中に噂が広まってるかも。
そういえば今うちに帰ってくる途中、雑貨屋によってタバコ買った時、ソーセージ屋の娘が俺のことチラチラ見てやがった。
やっぱりそうでしょ。私もさっきゴミ捨てに行った時、裏の飲んだくれが私のことじーっと。あんなある宇宙男がこんな大気な話を
Wait a minute. Maybe you're right about something, Jacob. Maybe this is the beginning of the massacre.
Right. But the thing is that right, because they're so paranoid and they have guns.
They have guns now. So, yep. That is a creepy bird sound.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Just a little bit.
Oh my gosh.
Didn't they say they threw it over the fence?
Like a mockingjay or something.
Oh.
Why would you enter this house?
Yeah, like.
Oh. Dang.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
この様子から見て、
最近はここには来てないようだな。
Oh.
すべて未完成。
We see you, by the way.
Yeah.
いや、ビムじゃないか。
Okay. This actually went very well.
Right.
こんなところで何やってるんだい？
友達が僕の自転車をここ
Some of
に
my
捨てたって。
friends.
Yeah.
友達に一杯食わされたな。
この猫はサブマシンガンで撃たれたようだな。
Oh. Okay.
連中はもう。
ああ、すぐ近くに。
Oh.
見ろ。
Whoa.
双子の絵。
これも。
Wow.
これも。
Here we go. Here we go.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
一体何枚同じ絵を。
A lot.
何枚描いても満たされない。
やれやれ。今年はつる草が多くなりそうだ。これじゃあ今年の米の収穫が心配だな。
That's a confident walk.
いや、あんた見かけない顔だな。
They're not showing us the face?
It's not Johan then. Okay. Wow. That was incredible. We have
It was indeed.
We have the small town of Ruhenheim, which makes sense that they called the name of the episode this, because it was basically the town being introduced as this new character with all these other smaller characters in, where we can naturally deduce Franz Bonaparta at the very least lives here or did live here.
Right.
He might be dead, because there's a possibility that someone came for him with a submachine gun and he had to book it out or something. There's no body. There's no body here. So they either took Franz Bonaparta as bait for Johan.
Sure. Okay. Yeah.
Or something.
Yep. There are tons of ways they could take this.
Yeah.
But okay. Grimmer's back. Grimmer's back. Like, okay, because wow.
One of my favorite side characters in Monster. Probably my favorite side character in Monster.
But that makes me also very worried, because it's like that means he's gonna die. But at the same time, him and Lunge are together.
I know.
That's a pretty badass combo there.
It is.
Maybe it doesn't have quite the same rule of cool as if Ava was there also.
Sure.
But But that's whoa.
Baby steps.
This is close. This is close.
Really good.
Because wow, and the thing is, they can watch each other's backs, because they're both very competent. They're both
extremely
very smart,
competent.
Extremely competent, and they also know how to handle themselves, if things get violent. So
and these are the kind of guys that both have the alert feat.
Right, exactly. You can't surprise them.
You cannot surprise them.
It just doesn't work.
They surprise you.
Yeah. I loved that bit with the crow that scares Grimmer, and he's like, "You should really know better than to scare me."
And that's a good point. He probably doesn't really have the alert feat then in that case.
He's just so chill about things. He's just like, yeah, no problem. I'll just take things as they come.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh boy! Wow.
Oh my gosh! So we have a bunch of minor characters, or I would say stand-in characters, put in across this town of Ruhenheim. We have the dog and the dog owner. Yeah. We have the little kid. Yeah. With the alcoholic father and stuff, and then we have
the bullies and everything.
Bully kids. We have the sausages girl. Yeah. We have the two hotel owners. One of them is the really nice old guy, and then we have the other one,
kid. Yeah.
The other one that is not getting any business. So his wife is addicted to the lottery. And then she just ended up winning the lottery. Which
was that the same guy?
It is the same guy. Yes.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So that's why she's like, you should make more money, and he's like, I'm trying. And
sure, gotcha.
It makes sense with his lack of economic.
Sure.
Results. Yeah. She's turned to gambling essentially,
and it makes and it's a nice touch because one of the aspects of a small town is the idea that everybody knows everybody, and that you'll just randomly walk things like having the same person in two different locations that are separated story wise.
Right.
That's just the kind of stuff that happens because it's a small town. There aren't very many people.
Yep. Then we have the old couple at the hotel.
Yeah.
You also have the guy whose birthday was used for the thing there, and he encountered someone in the woods as he was clearing out vines for the for the berries to grow or what have you.
But they said it was someone new, so it wasn't the couple that got the lottery. It's not like they're going to kill him or something. Not that I wouldn't be surprised entirely if that happened, but they said it was a new face, so okay. And then there's also the drunk that is there, and they showed his face, and he's just a drunk, it seems.
Well, right. So this person coming in with the green coat, I believe is the same person who was who killed Chopik, who was basically there with the other guy that killed Chopik. And they are either tied to the babies organization in some way, or they're tied to Johan in some way.
What if it no. I was gonna say what if it was the disciple dude, but no.
The disciple
not. No. No.
The big thing though is that Grimmer says that there's going to be a massacre in this town.
Right. And now what it makes me think is that it would be something akin to Kinderheim, where Johan makes people just kill each other,
go crazy.
But the thing is that the whole thing of the cat being killed with submachine gun and stuff, that makes it seem more like not necessarily Johan style, because he'll have people kill people, but he doesn't need an army; he needs assassins, right?
Or he doesn't need even guns; he just needs some words, and he starts the madness.
Right.
Now, we are seeing the early signs of madness being applied there, because for some reason, this is some next level stuff that is totally within Johan's parameters. We have a guy who says, in the past, March 2nd, 1945 has won me a lot of things. Who's to say that Johan didn't put that in there way back when, so that this guy would come to this place here and do this thing.
And how Johan would influence the lottery, I don't know, maybe he fixes the lottery, but...
Well, at one point, he was one of the most powerful people in Europe.
Oh, right. Well, yeah,
so if he could do a lot of things.
Yeah, I'm sure he could do all kinds of stuff. But he could also just fake the newspaper so that the newspaper prints the wrong lottery-winning numbers.
Can I do a quick Google search real quick about March 2nd, 1945? Because there was something very interesting that happened around that time with World War II. No. Okay. King Michael of Romania gives into the communist government.
And Dresden gets bombed.
Where's Dresden?
Okay.
In Germany. Okay. So nothing specifically crazy, but okay.
But yeah, so there's all that happening. Then there's also this whole thing of the gunshot, and then maybe it's an engine that had trouble and stuff.
Right.
But then some people hear it, some people don't. Right? Whose car was it? We don't know for sure if that was actually a thing. And the way people responded to it seemed off, almost like it was something where it's the turning the eyes away from Johan's face kind of a thing, where it's like, oh, sometimes gunshots go off, and nope, that's just a car breaking down, like that. And again, is that something where that's Franz Bonaparta, or is that someone else? Was that the submachine gun? But I don't think so, because that was a single shot. and it was far away, so like
now a submachine gun would have a single fire option.
Right.
Like it wouldn't, like it would be, it would,
and they wouldn't have to be this particular about it, but if Lunge was able to tell that it was a submachine gun, then that would either be from the bullets, and now submachine guns, because they fire so many bullets, the bullets are smaller, the gunshot sounds different, right? It wouldn't travel as far.
Right, I would think it would be because that it fired multiple bullets in a very small,
right, but then it wouldn't
precise area.
But then it wouldn't, right? But then that wouldn't be the same gunshot that they heard, because that would have been multiple gunshots. Exactly. So then what's going on there? Like that almost seems like someone just got executed, right?
Which is what happened in the previous episode, although that might have been...
think that was actually in Ruhenheim, though.
I don't think it was in Ruhenheim either.
Yeah.
So we are... Unless in the next episode someone's like, hey, we've been missing so-and-so. We haven't seen...
Yeah, what it almost seems like they're setting up is that the green suit person killed someone else prior, and now they're killing another person, maybe.
Right. Well, they're going after Franz Bonaparta, right? This was...
Well, we don't necessarily know if that's the same person, though.
But the paintings... This was what Franz Bonaparta was.
Right. That was Franz Bonaparta's location.
Right.
But this green suit person, one, they have a pistol, not a submachine gun.
Yes,
right?
That's true.
So
that could be Franz Bonaparta.
Sure.
But then it wouldn't.
But then they wouldn't call it a new face, unless potentially it's the whole thing of the vampire house. So maybe Franz Bonaparta never really left. But even then, they would probably see him occasionally. They would know what he looked like.
That's why they probably call him the vampire.
Is because they know he's there, and he just and probably because he never leaves. Like he just stays there for a long time.
Sure.
And maybe he gives off that weird feeling, right?
Yeah.
But
I mean, yeah. I would call him a vampire too if I was around 9 or 10 years old. Yeah,
exactly. But with what they're doing here, it's like they're setting the stage for a lot of players to be involved, and most of the major players that we are aware of have not been revealed yet, or have not actually come to this location. Yeah. So what are they gonna do?
Yeah. We have a good chunk of episodes left. 5 or 6. The big thing I'm sensing here, I'm sensing specifically, was that the whole thing of the paranoia setting in from the people that won the lottery. Yeah. This is an active, like, think about it this way. This is Monster we're talking about. The writing is something where they don't waste space. It's a very long show, and they don't waste space. So when things like this happen, at the end, it has extreme importance. There's basically this bell curve, or it's not a bell curve, it's the opposite of a bell curve. It's a valley of a curve. Basically, the importance of a scene goes up dramatically if it's in the beginning or the end. Right now, we have a seemingly innocuous thing of a couple who are in financial trouble, and one of them just they won the lottery, 20 million marks. It's like, wow, okay, that's cool for you. Wait a minute, this is happening in the last 10 episodes of the show.
Yeah, the last 6 episodes.
Episodes,
and then they buy. Okay, here's the thing. I would have understood if they bought like a gun, right? Because it's like, okay, just for security, whatever. They bought 3.
Well, these people don't handle guns usually.
Sure.
So it's a sign of their paranoia, because they really only need 1.
But the fact that they bought 3, that shows the intense paranoia, and they're probably going to be used for things, because didn't they say that like the only person who actually had a gun was that drunk? Which actually is a good point. Maybe the drunk is one of Johan's like assassins or something, or
has a kid. No.
Wait. Oh no. Oh yeah. Good point.
No. What I think they're really doing is think about it like plot devices being put in foundationally, so that when they are used, we go, that happened because this was set up.
Hence why they showed the face of the drunk, so that way we knew like it's the drunk in the town, so that way when, even though we don't see his face when he hits the kid and throws him out, we know that that's who it is, and we have a face to put to that.
But now we have 3 guns essentially, or 4 guns, I would say, that are in town that aren't the cops. I would say the cop might,
or the submachine gun.
And this story is going to end with probably one of those guns being used on Johan. That's just my guess. Whether he kills himself or Tenma kills him.
Well, what I'm thinking is that, like, okay, if the town goes up in flames, right? You know, they start killing each other or whatever. What is the purpose for that? To cause a mass massacre where people can die without being, like, noticed, you know? Or where people can disappear without being noticed because it just goes crazy, and maybe to wipe away, like, evidence, like anyone that knew, say, Franz Bonaparta.
Yeah, you know? I think it's primarily to mask the targeting of Franz Bonaparta specifically.
And that would make a lot of sense. And then it's just, how is it all going to go down? Who exactly are all the players involved? And how is Tenma and company gonna play into this?
Yeah, the big thing I would see also being why Johan's going after this place, and maybe he does have a small group of people coming with him, is that it's not just Franz Bonaparta he needs killed or needs to talk to. It's they need to destroy all the evidence and everything.
Right, this whole town just gone.
Like see that art and stuff back there. All that needs to go. And maybe this is another thing, is that's just the painting spot. Like Franz Bonaparta also has like a place where he's hidden like his research, his written works. You know, more children's stories.
And who knows how many of the townspeople have gone over to his place and seen some of that stuff or whatever.
Sure.
Yeah.
Here's another crazy thing, just kind of throwing that out there. You mentioned the whole idea of Franz Bonaparta working his magic, and I was kind of quick to dismiss that. But I want to go back to that and think about it from the standpoint of Franz Bonaparta is here, right?
Right.
So he's in retirement. But like, do you think he would get bored in retirement and do a couple things here and there?
Maybe, or at the very least, if he's in retirement and he wants a quiet retirement, I would think he would want to be able to have the freedom to do certain things to maintain his quiet retirement without
jeopardizing
it, right? So if he needed to kill somebody, I would not be surprised at all if he had set things up so that it, you know, like the cop, for instance, since there's so few cops and
he
stuff,
owns
just
the
like,
cop.
Yeah, exactly. Or you know, and it's just like a thing of, that wasn't a gunshot, that was just a car breaking down. You know, people get confused about that stuff all the time. You know,
I do like the idea of the cop being owned by Bonaparta.
And maybe the cop was the one that actually did it. Like, you know.
Sure.
Who knows?
Also, Ava is out there. She might have a one-shot, you know, kind of weapon that would warrant a gunshot.
Yeah, Tenma left her, and I don't know if she knows. I don't think she knows about the name of the town, though.
No, she might not. But who knows? She might figure that kind of stuff out. But the idea I had was, you said that, you know, the idea you gave off us, you had something triggered your sense of that he had worked some of his, you know,
right, because the people in the town were off, and since it seems like people are just now coming to the town, like even if Johan's been here for a little while, he wouldn't have worked his magic that fast. So, you know,
so if we assume that there's some Franz Bonaparta stuff, where were the most odd things that we saw taking place in the town?
The police officer. And then the people that some heard it, some didn't hear it. The elderly couple comes to mind that was at the place. And apparently, they were the only other people at that hotel. But that hotel had been taking all the business of the other hotel.
Right.
So, but that hotel doesn't have any customers either. So literally, they are the only two people staying at hotels that are not main characters of some kind.
Which, doesn't that seem just a little bit like...
especially since the whole elderly couple thing is something that Johan has used in previous times to like stay with them and stuff.
Totally. So here's my final thought, right? What was one of the main things that Bonaparta... Well, no, I'm just going to go for it. The kids. So Bonaparta specifically influenced kids with his books and his teachings and what have you. We have 3 basically asshole kids that...
Right, and they could just be bullies, but...
Oh, they totally could just be bullies. They totally could just be that. But I do find it kind of interesting that they... Maybe they're just pranking him to go towards the vampire's house or something like that. But the idea that they call him that, and yet they were so good at the way they did this that it's like they sent a kid that easily to the house as if it was just like, oh yeah,
and
we've done this before.
And a kid that might not
be missed,
might not
by
be
too many
missed,
people.
or at least not by the dad, because, you know, the idea of like, oh, him being away from home for a long time because his dad is a, you know, a drunken asshole, totally makes sense, right? Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So I say we give it another episode before we start pointing at any of the townspeople specifically as being, you know, affected in some way,
but
other than the paranoid couple who won the lottery.
Sure. Yeah.
Because it does seem like, wait, you won the lottery, right? As all this crazy stuff is about to go down.
Yeah, it's like, you don't even need to stay in the town. Go to wherever you need to cash in the lottery ticket and don't come back.
Yeah.
You know, that's fine. Just get in your car and go.
You can come back in, you know, a little bit of time.
Right, if you need to, you know. But cash that thing in.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then put it in a bank, you know, like, I mean, come on. I don't know what things are like in this area, you know, as far as banks go and
maybe though they're paranoid enough that they actually wouldn't put all of it in a bank, you know?
Sure, because, no single point of failure or something.
Well, taxes, I don't know what taxes would be like at this time and in this country, but...
Stuff it in a mattress.
Well, right, because suddenly depositing all that money, suddenly they go, oh, you just came
Income
under
tax,
a lot of money. Yeah, exactly. I don't know.
Let's take 40% of that.
Yeah. So, all right. I think that we're headed towards some very interesting stuff, specifically with Grimmer and Lunge, but having them be together, I can't think of a better team up.
Well, and here's the other thing. The fact that Grimmer's here, okay, it makes sense for the purpose of his story because he is properly motivated. But the thing is that it seems more than what we've gotten from him so far. Because, okay, he was at Kinderheim, right? That's no connection to Franz Bonaparta. So, what? Like if it's something where it's like he's following Johan or something, then maybe, but even then that doesn't seem likely. So what is he doing here? Because he has goals. Okay, I get that, and I buy that he has a reason to be here, but we don't actually know what it is, because with all the stuff that's happening in the show, Grimmer wasn't really around for a lot of that, and his motivations, like Kinderheim and, you know, the Franz Bonaparta, those are two separate places and stuff.
Definitely.
So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting, y'all. Thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction and discussion. Yes. If you want to see the next episode's reaction and discussion right now, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You can get on early access there. You can watch full-length reactions there, and all this comes with Discord access, so you can chat with us about stories or just hang out in general and chat about whatever. And if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.